Right, so in today's video you can see that I'm going to buy a pretty special car, and also before we kick off with the video I want to let you know that by the time this video goes live we should have already launched our black on black collection at NAFFCO54.com. So basically we currently do the classic range, which is like the colourful logo, and we've gone for a black on black range, and that's basically for people that might not want to wear the colourful stuff, or the people that might want to wear like a bit more of a, it's more of a formal look. So if you're going out on a night out and you want to wear something like a bit smarter looking maybe, the black on black collection is exactly that. So I'll put the link in the description below, but like I say, it's NAFFCO54.com, alright? Let's get on with the video. Right, down here, through this door. Which way was it? No, it's not that way. This way. Open this door.
There it is. Oh, focus, camera focus. Honda S2000.
Ignition on, engine start button is separate from the ignition barrel, so it's just over here. Just about started. Now I fully get that it's going to be very dark in here, but don't worry, it's not night time, it's actually daytime. But the place where this car is parked is in like an underground car park, so we're going to get out on the road and I'll begin to tell you about how this car came about, alright? This car has not seen daylight for God knows how long, and you can see by the state of it that it's been sitting for a long time. Now, the story behind this car is, firstly I want to start actually by saying S2000s are absolutely sick cars. I love S2000s, and I love Hondas in general. They're just a bloody good car. But the story of this car, which is what you're all going to be interested in, is basically, so the car came from a company that we buy, for us at the car buying shop, we buy cars from various different companies locally, and like company cars, vans, that kind of thing. The place where this car came from was a company that we buy a lot of cars from, and it was actually one of the directors' cars. Now, I went there over a year ago, I would say, and I said to him, "What are you doing with your S2000? He goes, "I want to sell it." And we got chatting about it, we agreed that I'd buy it, and I never heard from him after that. It just never happened, and it was always in the back of my mind, like, what is he doing with this S2000? And last week he emailed us and said, yeah, Calvin, I'm ready to go ahead and sell the S2000. So, and we've got another car here that you can buy as well, a Vauxhall Zafira, so we bought that whilst we were there. But the S2000 was obviously the one that I was most excited about. Now, the obvious question I had, like, what gear am I in? Where's fifth gear? There it is. Very notchy mechanical gearbox. Wow, I ain't driven a car with a gearbox like that for ages. Yeah, so the obvious question I had was, what had happened? Why did you not? Why did I not buy this car a year ago? It's just sat here for all this time. And he goes, well, I'll be honest with you, I lost the bloody keys, and it meant that I had no keys for the car, so I couldn't do nothing with it. So he's had to go to Honda and get a whole new set of keys and immobilizers. And I think he's even had a new alarm put on it as well. So he's got a pair of brand new keys, which is great for me, but it meant that I had to wait a whole year to get my hands on it. Now, cobwebs and dust and dirt, and the fact that it's not been on the road for a long time and it's sitting around rotting, and there's this what's that saying, don't drive, I can't remember what the bloody saying is now, something like that, but some people have frustration towards people that don't use their cars. This guy didn't use his car because he drives, he's got some seriously nice cars, and this is just something that he bought a long time ago as a bit of fun, and he kept hold of it because he likes it. And but I have to say, fifth gear's in a really funny place. I have to say that for me, dust, cobwebs, the fact that it's not been MOT'd for bloody ages, the fact that it's driven about 1,000 miles in the last 2 years, the fact that it's filthy dirty and it's been unloved and untouched for so long, that sort of stuff excites me. Like in the car, I'm in the car trade because I'm passionate about cars. Now, obviously I buy things like vans and run-of-the-mill cars, average stuff. That stuff excites me as well, because ultimately I'm here to earn money. But when I get a call about a car like this is what I'm here for. This is what keeps me going. These cars are something that I love. Like if I look over the bonnet now of this car, it is disgusting, but for some strange reason I am massively drawn to things like this. Now in the title I've mentioned that it's got low mileage. Now you might have seen the mileage if I've already shown you a clip, but it's actually done 28,959 miles. Okay, so for a car that's, how old is it? No, 02 plate, so it's 17 years old. Is that right? 17 years old. For a 17-year-old car, that's exceptionally low mileage. Now, I can't really drive it too hard because obviously it's not been driven at all for such a long time, but I'm sure you all know the ins and outs of Honda as a brand. And Honda basically built a VTEC, which is some kind of a camshaft system. Which basically means that it's not a turbo, it's not a supercharger, it's just another way of drawing more power out of the engine at higher revs. Now, Honda are the only brand that I know of, like, who would ever encourage their buyers to cane the arse out of your car. Now the idea is with a VTEC, you've got to get it up into the rev range before you can feel the VTEC kick in. Now we are warm, so I'm going to drop it to second and just feel VTEC, yeah? And I'll show you what I mean. So we revved all the way to 9,000, and if you notice, right at the top end of the rev range, there's a slight change of engine tone. Now if you change like the air filter or the exhaust and tamper around with it even more, tamper around with the setup of it, get your words out, Cal. Tamper around with the setup of it slightly, you'll notice that VTEC noise becomes louder, but it's just a slight pickup of power at the end of the rev range. Which I know a lot of you have probably driven VTECs, but I know a hell of a lot of you wouldn't have done, and I know a lot of people would be so curious to know what it's like, but it's just a slight change in power towards the end of the rev range, and it was kind of like, it just made the whole Honda thing so exciting. You know, back in, how old was I? About 10 years ago, I had a Honda Civic Type R. That car was one of the best, it was the first fast car that I ever drove. It was definitely the best car that I'd ever owned at that point in my life. I think it was like an 02 plate, and it actually had a nitrous kit. So it had a bottle of nitrous in the boot, and obviously it was a 2 litre VTEC. So with the shot of nitrous, I think it was about 260 brake horsepower. But what I loved about that car was exactly what I just said. The fact that Honda encourage you to rev these cars. Now, you just feel so confident driving the car hard because, you know, that's what it's designed for. And like I say, what other manufacturer does that? Now, some people are really on side with German cars and others are really on side with Japanese cars. Now, one thing's a fact with Japanese cars, they do lack quality, I suppose. The Japs were always about being mechanical, working properly, and giving you as the driver a bloody good experience when you're behind the wheel. Now, this car So like I said, I had a Civic Type R, and I've had actually loads of them by now, but when I had my Civic Type R, I loved it for all of them reasons. It was very mechanical. It had this notchy sort of manual gearbox. You're very much in touch with it. Throttle response is good. Low down in the rev range, the rev matches the amount of power, but higher up you do get a lot out of it. And it was just such a drivable car. When I first got into the driver's seat of an S2000, I remember thinking, this is going to be like my Civic Type R, but better. And they literally are. Like, obviously a Civic Type R serves a different purpose because it's a hatchback, it probably appeals to more people, but it's almost like Honda built this car to appeal to bloody people that really want to drive. Now it does have a diff that apparently functions similar to a limited slip diff. It's a 2 litre naturally aspirated engine, which I've just explained, with the VTEC, and I think it produces about 230 brake horsepower. But the key point with this car, where it's different to the Civic, is its rear wheel drive. And like I say, it's got this diff that does react or act like an LSD. So from a driver's point of view, it is like the perfect driving machine. It's reliable, it's powerful, it's got that diff, it's rear wheel drive, it's like it's been designed for the track, and it's got a cockpit that you engage with fully. When you jump in this car, you feel like you don't feel like you can daily drive this car. You can, don't get me wrong, fully capable of being daily driven. This car is fine to do that. But when you get in here, and something I haven't mentioned yet, you see the dials. It's got like a digi dash, like something out of an old Mark II Astra GTE. The speedo is actually like an old calculator. It's not even like nowadays we've got these smooth screens, but the speedo on this is like an old bloody, like I say, it's like an old calculator. You don't see stuff like this anymore, and I think that's why these cars are extremely special. Now, if you look online at these cars on Auto Trader, and I know a lot of people are probably in the market to buy one, you would have noticed that over the past few years they've actually gone up in value. So to try and find one with this mileage in this condition, with only the guy that I bought it is actually the only person that's ever owned this car from new. So he bought it from Honda, so I'm pretty sure Honda may have owned it first for a period of time. But as far as private owners goes, this has had one private owner since the day it was made. So to find a car like this in this condition with this mileage with good history like it has got as well is borderline unheard of. So I'm very, very happy, firstly, to be back in the driver's seat of an S2000 again, and secondly, to be the owner of a car that's so bloody special. I am going to end it there. I know this has been maybe quite a brief video, but it's something that I've been massively excited about as soon as I heard about it, or I knew about it. Back end. Like I said, I'm not going to drive it too hard because I don't want to yet. I want to get it checked over by a mechanic, just have it looked at, but I'm sure it'll be fine. It's a bloody Honda. But yeah, this video has been brief. I probably will film more about this car because I think it deserves a bit more time on the channel. It clearly needs a bit of prep. It needs an MOT. It needs a good clean and a valet. It also might need a battery because the battery's struggling to hold its power. And finally, a very common fault with S2000s is the wheels need doing. You can see, you probably see it on the cinematic shots at the beginning of the video, that the lacquer peels off the wheels on these cars. It's a very, very common thing. So they will probably need doing. I'm going to leave it there, but like I say, I'm very happy. I'm happy to deliver this on my channel as well. I hope you liked the video. I know I say that all the time, but I genuinely do hope you liked the video. And if you did, I will ask you in return, if you did like the video, just hit that like button, alright? And if you're new, quick summary on me. I'm a car trader, buy and sell cars. This car will be going straight up for sale once it's been prepped, not straight away. But yeah, buy and sell cars. Me and my brother have got a business called the Car Buying Shop, and yeah, I just have fun in cars, you know. It's my trade, it's what I do, it's what I love. So subscribe if you're new, alright? I'm done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of Diary of a Car Trader. Bye. In the next episode of Diary of a Car Trader, well, as requested by you lot on my Instagram, I went back to the underground car park, picked up the Zafira, and I filmed a video on it.